All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, we are back again on the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. What a nice victory. I know it was a very, very difficult game. I'm not going to lie. Zenit were very good defensively, off the ball, on the ball as well. When countering, they were very decent. It was a tough opposition. A lot of us predicted 3-0, 4-0, 4-1, 5-0, 6-0. I even looked at their team. I was like, I don't even know half their team, or not even half. Almost 100% of the team. I don't know who they are, but they must be respected. They did very well. At the end of the day, this is why we've got Romelu Lukaku. Games like this, he's coming up trumps. Game in, game out against Aston Villa, 2 shots on target, 2 goals. Against Zenit, not the greatest game again for us, but it was a difficult opposition. He gets one proper chance with the Azpilicueta cross, and he rises up high and gets that goal. Very, very important 3 points. It wasn't the greatest game from us once again. I don't think this season so far we haven't had many great, well, I can't even remember, to be honest, if we had many at all, any good games. Maybe the Crystal Palace one, but even that, I think we were at least in gear 2. We could go more gears, but we are getting away with wins, which is what we need to do. We are looking very good. We look very mature. We don't look panicked at the back. There were times this particular game where Rudi did bail us out. I'm not going to lie. And we're going to talk about all of that in detail. Ishan, my boy, how you doing first of all? How was your experience? And also, what did you think about that game?
It was not that easy night, isn't it? I mean, we had to work hard for that win, but a win is a win at the end of the day. Let's move on. Let's keep improving. We saw the goods and the bads. We've seen mistakes, and we've seen the flaws where we can improve a lot. So there are lots to talk about this game, but yeah, I'm so thankful that it's a win, because this was so important. It was a home game, Stamford Bridge, a Champions League opening game, and we being the defending champions, it was so important to have a win. Yes, we could have, before the game, just like you said, we could have estimated bigger margin of victory, but as it stands, a win is a win, and I'm really happy with it.
100%. A lot of people are saying Kovacic man of the match. I mean, he will come close. He was he was our best midfielder, no doubt about that. Many interceptions, many times he wins the ball, driving through, finding really good passes as well. But for me, I can't look away from Rudi. I think Rudi was exceptional in defense. Few times where it looked like Zenit was through. It was a clear goal. It's going to happen. And Rudi comes in and just swipes it. There was at least 2, if not 3 moments like that. Rudi was unbelievable defensively. Guys, we've got nearly 30 people on YouTube. All up, we've got 50 across all platforms. Smash the like button. Really helps the channel out a lot. I can't stress enough. The more likes, the more this particular video gets exposed to more fans out there. So please smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Let's get to 7,700 subscribers. I'm very, very close now. Literally about maybe 60 subscribers away from 7,700. So let's try and get that, ladies and gentlemen. Pump the likes up. Let's get those likes up. As I said, YouTube has nearly 30 live right now. Shout out to the people that are on at the moment. Kevin, Daniel, thank you so much for joining. Brent Smith, as always. My Coin Gang, Coin family is here. Good to see you guys. Big Rom, obviously winning, getting the winner for us. We're going to talk a lot about Romelu Lukaku. I mean, it was mad to see Ishan some negativity about Romelu Lukaku in the watch along, which was quite strange. Abhishek Bansal is here. Almighty Blue FC, love you, my man. Thank you so much for being here. We've got Faye, we've got Teenage Azpi. Thank you so much for joining again, my man. But yeah, let's talk a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, Taron and Johnathan will be joining very, very soon. They're probably just getting outside of the stadium now, and they'll find a spot where they can come live with. They've got the link, so they will come live. Hopefully we get to see some fans as well. But yeah, Ishan, let's start from the first half initially. We're not going to spend too much time on the lineup. I think people, if you want to catch the lineup, do check out the pre-match show where we talked a lot about the lineup. But Ishan, first half, it was very difficult for us to break them down. They had the block of 5. sometimes a block of 4 or 3 in front with 2 up front. Defended very compact, man marking, as you've said, was very tight. It was very difficult to find that key threaded pass. It was getting intercepted. We weren't having our rhythm in passing as well. We weren't finding our passing range. The play wasn't quick enough because there wasn't enough movement up front. It was very difficult first half to watch. I mean, what do you think about that first half initially before we go into the second half?
Yeah, I think so. Props to Zenit. I think so. They were defensively really solid, like you said. It always keeping a low block, having a 5-man or 6-man in the defense will not work. But them, it was a difficult case. Just not. They had 5 men, 6 men whenever we attacked, but that wasn't the key. I thought that the main key was man marking. The way they marked the Titan man marking they were doing. They just handcuffed Lukaku. There were 2-3 guys. There were 2 guys especially lurking around Lukaku, just putting him in the cage. And then when Lukaku had the probability of getting a ball, there was another defender coming and marking him. So the man marking was impeccable in the first 15-20 minutes that I saw. Now what happened after that is that the amount of the level of man marking that they were doing, there were many interceptions, and it was interceptions at the initial stages. What happened next is that due to the amount of unsuccessful passes due to interception, Chelsea, our midfielders started to panicking a little bit, and after that, it was just not even interceptions. It was just missed passes, just misplaced passes, misjudgments, and just poor passes, in simple words that you can call. We could have done that better. But yeah, I think so. Props to Zenit, the way they man marked in the initial stages, and they, intercepted so many passes that our midfielders went out to just panic mode, and then, threw away many passes in the next stages of the game. Yeah, it was a difficult opposition to break, but yeah, as we can say, it was so difficult in the first half. Also, they did not just sit down and have a low block and
They
just
counted
defend.
well.
No,
They
they
very
counted
well.
well. And there were instances where you could see the likes of Rudiger and Christensen had to work, their whole body off to get a ball away, and to make an interception, make a tackle, and then maybe retrieve the ball back. So it was difficult, even defending wise, our defender had to work. So it was a difficult game. I was just hoping they do not, I hope they did not get any goals in the first half, and they weren't successful, and I was happy about that, because the thing that we were discussing is in the watch along itself, that the team that gets the first goal probably might be the winner virtually,
100%.
because it's so difficult to score in these kind of games. It might not be the best game to see, especially in the first half, but it was a stress for our attackers as well, because we were so well man marked, and so difficult game. But yes, we have to accept the fact that there were many misplaced passes. We need to work well with our passes as well. Ziyech, Mason Mount having so many misplaced passes, so we need to work with that as well. But yes, thankfully the first half, we did not concede.
Yeah, man. I mean, 100% right. Live hard and die. Live hard and die. Thank you so much for this super chat. Werner was probably good to bring on for Mount. He uses space, which suits Ziyech play. Also, Lukaku is a different animal, and team needs some adaptation. Yeah, look, probably at that time, Werner would have been a good introduction, because at that time we were winning 1-0, and Zenit was looking for that equalizer. That's when the game opens up, and that's when it's very perfect for Werner because of all the space. So you're absolutely right. There was that chance right at the end where Lukaku should have done much better, where there was so many players on the left side. We should have scored that goal and should have won 2-0. Even Lukaku probably could have done better from himself and scored. But let's talk a little bit about the second half. Obviously, we'll talk about the player performances in detail. Second half, Ishan, we came out. It seems like Thomas Tuchel had a good conversation, said, boys, simple plan. They are going to defend deep without the ball. They're going to make it very difficult for us, make it very compact. 5, at times we saw 4 in front of the 5 and the 1. But the idea is try and get that ball to the focal point, Lukaku, and then Lukaku find the runners to bring them in, and then they can perhaps take a first-time shot or even put Lukaku through again, or Lukaku can put either Ziyech or Mount through. The idea seemed right. The execution wasn't there. The execution wasn't coming off. But surely enough, Azpilicueta, can we take a moment to praise this legend of this club? I mean, time in, time out, Ishan, Azpilicueta keeps getting told he will get phased out. It is probably his last season. Azpi came out in the press conference just before this match saying, I'm not thinking about anything at the moment besides playing for Chelsea and besides continuing on to play for Chelsea. He wants to continue to play for Chelsea for many more years. He's got the ambition to do that. Look, I'm not going to lie. There are times where Azpi, even his crosses at times just didn't make it. But he's got that one cross. We've seen it back in the days with Morata. He delivers that beautiful dinking cross to Lukaku. Lukaku rises up like a rising phoenix and just bangs it in brilliantly. Let's talk a little bit about Azpilicueta before we talk about Lukaku. I mean, we are blessed to have a captain like Azpilicueta, yeah?
Oh, 100%, man. I can't stress enough on how important Azpilicueta is, especially, regarding the decision making that he has. I kept this saying, many times when we had comparisons between Reece James and Azpilicueta starting at that wing back position, and I always said that Azpilicueta's decision making is way better now as compared to Reece James. And this cross, also the assist in the previous game against Aston Villa, it was absolutely top class from Azpilicueta. Yes, he gives more defensive stability to our team, but yeah, I can't stress enough, his cross is way better than we all think. And this two assists has provided the proof that Azpilicueta can be a good match for Lukaku as well, because Lukaku is very good in terms of his aerial abilities, hence proved with this game. And Azpilicueta is the guy. His decision making is so good. Maybe there were many instances where we could see the other guys, maybe Reece James, hesitate to go into the attacking forefront and give a cross, or maybe just create more one-to-one passes and then create an attacking move in that right flank. But Azpilicueta has that straightforward mindset, and he's more aware of the opponent players. He's better in the decision making, and his cross is really, really nice. So yeah, this was one of the games where we saw the biggest example where Azpilicueta and Romelu Lukaku can make a difference, out of nowhere. And this can be the scene in multiple games, in the upcoming games as well. There are going to be many games where it's not going to be easy to score, and that's when Azpilicueta's crosses maybe just can do the trick like today. So kudos to Azpilicueta. He's been doing great.
100%. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know who your man of the match is. Obviously, Chelsea admin has put out who gets your vote for man of the match tonight. We've got the selection: Mateo Kovacic, Romelu Lukaku, Antonio Rudiger, Cesar Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta, obviously, with the assist, great, but there was a time where the defender went behind him and bad boy Rudiger saved his life, honestly. And bad boy Rudiger actually saved a couple of lives a few times there. Lukaku obviously got the goal, but once again, not I wouldn't say a man of the match kind of performance, but still, he's there to get the goal, and kudos to him. Mateo Kovacic, obviously, strongest midfielder for us, no doubt about that. But my vote is Antonio Rudiger. Ishan, who's your vote? Live chat, let me know what your thoughts are, and then we'll lock one in from here. Ishan, who's your man of the match?
I think so. I'll have to give it to maybe a Rudiger or a Christensen.
By the way, that solo run from Rudiger, we can't forget.
Almost the goal of the season. Almost the goal of the season already, man. Yeah. So Rudiger can do that. And that's exactly what I was saying in the watch along itself, because, there were so many man markings. Even when we had the ball in our half, there were so many man markings. Basically, you'd see that when we have the ball in our half, there are 3 to 4 players where one player who has the ball can pass to, but they had 4 bodies in those, covering those and man marking those. So there was Rudiger in the other half, who was unman marked, or maybe was way too far to be surrounded by any man markers there. he got the ball and he just exploited the whole gap which was created. Why? Because there were so many players from the opposition in our half that there was a lot of gap to run to, and Rudiger exploited that. And after that, you'd see there was a resistance, there was a little bit of hesitation from the Zenit players as well to not just go all the way in our half and start man marking. It would backfire. So yeah, big up to Rudiger to do that, and then he's my man of the match because listen, Lukaku's got a very very important goal. Azpilicueta had a very very good game, so maybe Azpilicueta as well. But yeah, Rudiger.
I can't believe
with
Lukaku's winning this, man. 52% after 48,000 votes. Like seriously.
Yeah, I mean,
they just value the goal. They don't watch anything else.
yeah, I mean, like Abhishek said in the live chat, Lukaku could have got at least two today, because he's been caged so much in this game that he could not show actually what he could do. But yeah, he could have at least got two. But the thing is, I mean, it was an important goal. If it wasn't for Lukaku, we wouldn't have won the match. But yeah, I'm happy with whoever gets the man of the match. But the thing is, for me, it was Rudiger because it was so important for Rudiger to show up in those important stages where they had completely caught us up in the counter transition. But yeah, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. But we won the game, and that's important for us. And regardless of who gets the man of the match, it was an important victory, and it should definitely
100%.
boost the confidence. But yeah, we need to improve as well.
100%. I mean, look, this comment here, Kabina answer, without Lukaku, this was 0-0. No doubt. Lukaku gets the goal. This is why we've brought him in. That's his duty. But I personally don't think it was man of the match kind of performance from him. He gets the goal, we get the 3 points, and that's perfect. But for me, the man of the match was definitely Rudiger. And a close shout for Kovacic, who was instrumental in midfield. Interceptions, driving runs, finding those big passes as well, which we couldn't capitalize on. So very, very important to see that. Is a nice picture from Romelu Lukaku. Let's talk a little bit about Romelu Lukaku now, Ishan. I mean, this guy is coming up trumps for us big time, and I hope and I pray that it continues like this. But Ishan, what I really like about Lukaku is that you don't need to give him many chances. You don't need to give him chance after chance after chance. We've now seen a header goal. We've seen what he can do with his feet. We've seen what he did to Mari. Mari, I think, has retired football. He's no longer playing football anymore for Arsenal Football Club. I think he's retired. He's absolutely had a nightmare. We've seen what he did against Aston Villa. Absolutely gave them a nightmare. And now a header goal, rising up. I mean, he is the complete package, Ishan. He's the complete package. But as I said, most importantly, you do not need to give him many chances. He will gobble it up.
Yeah, and we're lucky to have this kind of striker, where we can actually rely on him. Maybe even if not completely rely on him, at least in the finishing forefront, he can assure you those goals. And the chances that we've let down the last season, he can come and assure you the fact that, listen, I'm here, and I will definitely capitalize on those chances. So yeah, I mean, big up to Lukaku. This was very very important goal. Regardless, he scored 4 for us this season already, and maybe
immense.
this was I think so. This was the most important out of all the fours. I would say this was the most important because it was so difficult to break. Listen, Arsenal game,
especially when Juventus won 4-0 at the end. Juventus ended up winning
3-0.
We needed to get this win to make sure that we are in the range to come first in this particular group. So you're right. This is a very important goal.
Yeah, and listen, against Arsenal, they were really poor. Arsenal were really poor. So whichever ways we could have got one goal easily, it wasn't that difficult. Similarly goes with Aston Villa. I mean, Lukaku scored 2 beautiful goals. Let's not take anything away from that. But this game, it's something else. I mean, it's when it's so difficult to score, and you still, as a striker, stand out and score. That just shows you the sign that you're a world-class striker. And today, just let's not look at the opposition's name and the team list name, because that does not show anything. the game was very difficult, and we were completely caught in the deception. So yeah, it was
100%.
difficult, but the boys are here.
The boys are here. The boys are here. We will talk about this comment from Ibzi very soon. Ibzi, we will not forget. We'll leave the comment there. Actually, it's very important. But we want to now talk to the boys, and I love doing this. Boys, I mean,
not just us though. We've got someone.
We've got a little bit of a surprise here.
It's good to see
Wow, what a surprise!
What are you telling me? What are you saying? What's happening?
the gang is here. The gang is here. Good to see. I mean,
business.
the gang business, coin gang. We are here. I mean, boys, I want to hear from you guys. I mean, that was a very tough game. I mean, it wasn't what we expected. That we're just going to roll up, knock over Zenit. Zenit, very compact, defensively very good, countered very well. But big Romelu Lukaku, one opportunity, even half an opportunity, rises up, gets the header. I mean, talk to us, boys.
Bro, this guy converts dusts into 3 points. He does that. He's moving like this. What's happening? Fam, this guy is moving sensational. I can't lie to you, there were parts of the game where my heartbeat skipped. You know what I'm saying? Like, Zenit were moving mad. Like, I was.
Bro, if Rudiger didn't save some of those stuff at the end, Rudiger's defense, I thought we were dead. There were times where, there was one time where they went behind us. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, the Zuba chance was, that was 1-1. We were very lucky to get away with that. But as, we just heard Dami speaking, and we're obviously speaking on the way here. Lukaku's a difference. He's a difference. Dami said it, the difference between winning and drawing this game. So, massive goal from him tonight.
That's how it is, 100%. Man. That's how it is. It's ridiculous because at the end of the day, like, people are always talking. Because initially, I didn't really understand it until we went into the game. I massively underestimated Zenit. That's one thing I need us to talk about. Like, they were so compact. They played so good. So good. They were really, really good at this. You know what I'm saying?
They were organised. They were very
so good.
Oh my God. So at the end of the day, it's like one of them.
I tell you what, they will trouble people at their home ground. They really will trouble people at their home ground.
With the fans behind the atmosphere, I think it could be difficult for any team. They counter-attack. We were saying earlier, the way they counter-attack, they have a strategy to go forward. Malcolm was picked up in good position. It's a shame it was against Rudiger. If it was against another defender in our group, I think he could have converted an assist or a goal today. So, yeah, Zuba, chance at the end, could have been 1-1. It would have been a great result for Zenit. But, Zenit are a decent team. I underestimate them a little bit before kickoff. But we got the job done. Like Johnathan said, without Lukaku today, we could have been a 0-0 draw, could have been a 1-0 loss. But we have the guy up front who's going to convert every single chance he gets. So much confidence. And I think this really puts us in a good position for the title of the season as well.
I want to ask you for you today. Obviously, Lukaku. We know he's the guy that got the goal, took his chance when he needed to.
For me, obviously, like Lukaku, like rightfully said, Rudiger. I don't know about the spirit of Yushimu corrupted his body for a few seconds when he made that run. I promise you, the stadium could not believe what was going on. I nearly called him Yushimu. Can you imagine? Rudiger was quite good. Kovacic. And Miss, I'm not the biggest fan of Kova.
Yeah.
Kova today was scintillating.
He was the best midfielder. He was the best midfielder.
What Mason Mount, Ziyech and Havertz refused to do, Kova did that and some. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to give him his flowers. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. People are always saying I don't give players their flowers. I'm giving Kova his flowers today because he fully won. I'll buy them. Not even from Tesco's. We buy them from Ralph Lauren or something like that. We buy them from an expensive store. We're not doing nothing cheap in this thing. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm mad impressed, man. I'm mad impressed. Kova, Rudiger, Lukaku from Mendy as well.
Back of the shirt, bro. Back of the shirt.
Turn around, fam. What's that?
Turn around,
There you go.
To be fair,
Dami, a question for you.
All right.
The three defenders were actually pretty solid. Not that they had loads to do, but when they needed to, they stepped in. But yeah, Kovacic, I thought he pressed really well. He was one of the ones that started the press, and then drove.
Every time someone lost the ball in midfield, he won the ball straight away. He counter-attacked straight away. He kept winning the balls, second balls, and he was the main energy in the whole team today.
Boys, hold the Kovacic thought because we're going to come back to that. I just want to hear from you that reaction when Rudiger went for that solo run, that barnstorming run from Rudiger, and then he cuts in with his right, and then he goes for the shot. What was that reaction like for that Rudiger solo run? How was the stadium at that time?
Like, I nearly... My mate is behind the camera. I nearly cracked my pants. It was unreal. It was Zuma 2.0. I was like, where does this come from? I didn't know what came up. And you know, it's like when he got to the edge of the box, he looks confused himself. He didn't expect to have the ball at that point in time, so it was a nice movement. If he had converted, I might have to go to Primark and buy new trousers in it. That's all that probably happened.
The stadium roof would have gone off.
The stadium was ridiculous.
I've got a question.
Go get some food and stuff. So
I'm gonna get
thank
food,
you very
but
much.
Yeah. Take care, Dami.
you lot
Thank
made-
you.
Put me back on Twitter, bro. My main account. You don't follow me on your main account, bro.
Bro, Jesus Christ, that's blasphemy.
Take care.
I'll see you lot soon.
See you later. Yeah, take care. See you, man.
See you later.
Yeah, guys, got a question for you. After the first half, we thought it was so difficult to break these guys because these guys were not just very rigid with their low blocks, but also they were attacking. When they got the opportunity with the transitions. We thought that yes, there were stages where we could have been better with our passing in the midfield. There were many misplaced passes. But what do you think where we could have done better after the first half? What did you think that where could we have done better to just get the breakthrough and be better in the gameplay?
Yeah, I think definitely, like you said, the passing, the movement wasn't good enough. We weren't quick enough in the front three. But yeah, it was disappointing to see. I thought we would have made some changes earlier, to be honest. But look, the main thing is we got the goal when we needed to. Great cross from Azpi, great finish or great header from Lukaku. But yeah, the passing wasn't quite there today. Mount pressed well. I thought that was probably the only part of his game that I was impressed with, though. I mean, passing.
Let's be honest. I don't think he had a very good game. Well. Like Mount didn't have the very good game. I think off the ball he was good. His work rate was good, but overall with the ball, I don't think he was that good.
Yeah, same with Ziyech. I mean, that's one of the reasons why he came off. I wasn't that impressed with Ziyech tonight. His passing just wasn't there. But, I mean, Lukaku was looking for the ball all night. He was looking for runners to play 1-2s off of him, to shoot first time. We kept taking too many touches, and that was a problem. But we've got a couple of fans that want to come and say a few things as well. So if you want to ask any questions...
Let's do it.
And I'm loving this shirt, by the way.
Thank you so much.
I'm rocking in that.
He came on.
Hey, guys, wow.
He came on. He got a cameo. What was your thoughts today in terms of, are you happy with the performance? I know we did struggle, but we did get the win. That's the most important thing.
It almost felt like an away day to some extent, but a 1-0 was a win. A win's a win, so it doesn't matter that much to me. Because I mean, who cares at that point? Generally, oh no. I just want to say, it was my first game that I've ever been to. Well, fuck me, the atmosphere.
The atmosphere was good.
The atmosphere was insane. And I love it so much, man. Just everyone coming together, the chants, everything. And we made the Chelsea. Walking up those steps, and you just hear the Champions League sound playing, and you're just there, just going, "This is amazing." Honestly, you see the flag rolling, or whatever you call it, just rolling along all the fans and everything. It was just.
No, it was good.
It means
no,
more.
it started really. I mean, the little video before kick-off, the fireworks. I think it was a bit dull the first half. I thought Rudi we were talking about that run. The second half, he made that run, and everything changed in my opinion.
Boys, ask them about how they felt when Lukaku scored.
Zuma's goal that he almost had
nearly
a couple of years ago, was it now?
Yeah, it was. And that's what Dami said. It reminded us of Zuma.
Yeah.
So you got Hazard and Loftus.
Wow.
But yeah, so I say wasn't the best performance, but we got the 3 points. That was the most important thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying about like Champions League games like this, especially in the group stage. If you win 1-0 at home, that's the perfect result because
points.
Yeah, it's 3 points at the end of the day. Like
it's the first game back. I mean, I know we had the final with the fans back, but it's just not the first the first game we've had back with the fans.
In the Champions League, in the Champions League, which it hits different. The Champions League.
Yeah, the first half was a little bit like
pedestrian. I'd say.
Yeah, pedestrian. There was more to be desired from the first half, but second half they brought it. Obviously, Romelu is inevitable. So what more can you ask from that guy?
He's insane.
What more?
The Romelu chants were persistent after that goal, especially.
He's not always there with the first touch. I know he's been given a lot of shit for that in the past, but every time he gets the ball, you go, ooh.
You think something's going to happen, especially today. Yeah, definitely.
I was proud of the boy. It was a good header. It was beautiful.
Brilliant,
Some very happy
brilliant,
Chelsea
boys.
fans today.
No, this is awesome. Thank you so much for your time, boys.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful.
Boys, Ishan, you got any more questions, or you want me to ask one?
Nah, yeah, just one more. I was saying that you happy with the way we stayed with the double pivot throughout the game. Kovacic, Jorginho. I was constantly saying to Miz that there's a risk of burning these guys out because we've got Spurs next game, and it's not much difference between the days. We've got very few days to prepare for. Kante still under the question mark. Maybe he would start or maybe he won't. Probably he won't. So what do you think, guys? Did we just? Is there a risk of burning out these two guys?
I don't think so. I think the double pivot were really, really impressive today. I mean, we've criticised Kova and Georgia a lot in the past. They're not a title-winning pivot, but today, how close they were together. We were mentioning it many times in the stadium. They have such a telepathic connection together. Kova's always there. Georgie always knows where Kova's going to be, and that really, really helps. That helped our dominance so much in this game today. In the Villa game, Sal's first game, we understand that, but the connection in the midfield wasn't quite there. And in such a congested, compact area, when everything is like 100 miles per hour, you need two players who really know each other and can understand each other's game. So that pivot was amazing. Jorginho today, I understand not many people are going to praise him on football Twitter, but what I saw today was I understand why he was given the away for Men's Player of the Year. He's such a smart football player overall. His movement, his receiving of the ball in the half turn, his winning of different fouls and everything. I think he's absolutely class. Same with Kova as well. And Kova completely ran the midfield today. He looked like one of the best midfielders in Europe on his day today.
Did we just tire them, guys? Did we just tire them? Overplay them? Maybe there's a risk of getting tired.
I get what you're saying. I think if we'd have had the comfort of a first or second goal in the first half, Zenit was sitting really deep. They were really compact. They were not letting us get in behind. As say, our touches, we were just overpassing it at times. We were just playing. It reminds me of Arsenal back in the day where they just never shot. I'd sit and watch them and think they're never going to score, and it was a bit like that in the first half. We didn't shoot enough, as I said, at half time on the vlog, I think, or even on the watch along, that we had no shots on target, and it showed. Yeah. They did play well, and they didn't allow us to play as freely as we wanted to, but we had enough quality to get in behind. We just didn't have the quality in the first half. So surprised that we didn't have so many, or we didn't have any substitutions, sort of 55, 60 minutes. I know when we brought Havertz on, changed a little bit, and then we got the goal, and we did calm down a little bit. I think that the crowd certainly relaxed because it was getting a little bit tetchy, with just the lack of chance creation. But yeah, to go to your point about the midfield, I believe Sol or someone, Loftus-Cheek or even Barkley, I can't believe I'm saying his name, but if we'd had the luxury of being 2-3-0 up, we could have maybe bought one of them off and rested Jorginho and Kovacic, because Kovacic was everywhere tonight. Jorginho a bit more of a fulcrum, calming, and obviously not as many forward passes I'd like, but I thought that we had the control today. We just didn't have the flair. Our flair plays, when you got Mount and Ziyech that weren't quite with it. Lukaku was always looking for the ball and always looking for someone to run off of him, but it just didn't work tonight. So when we made the changes, it helped, and obviously the goal helped. So look, the 3 points are the most important thing to start the group off with a win.
I want to ask you boys, and I want to get your thoughts on this one. There was a comment that Ibsy put up, which was very interesting. I think it's a very good point to talk about. As great as Mount and Ziyech and Havertz and Kalamitz-Ndoye and Pulisic are, I feel like we do lack that genuine playmaker, the guy that's going to really weave the magic. I know Ziyech is meant to be that, but Ziyech, once again, coming into that inconsistent sort of ways again. Not a great match against Villa. Once again, not a great match against Zenit. I'm hoping this boy comes back quick. I'm not sure if he's going to start against Spurs, but do you feel we do lack that guy who's going to find regularly top-notch passes to Lukaku, top-notch passes to open the game up? I feel like we lack that. I know Kovacic tries to do that from midfield, but it's not always fair for Kovacic to do that from midfield. I do feel like Mount, Ziyech, Havertz, they do need to chip in with more creativity. Like, what do you guys think?
Yeah, they should take the responsibility. It just didn't really click tonight. We did try, but it didn't really work. The final ball, the passes, we were just a bit pedestrian. 1, 2, 3 touches when it really needed to be one and pop it off, and just a bit more space to create, because James was hugging that touchline in the first half, especially. Even the second half, he was always open for a switch. I thought, Mount tried to get involved. It just didn't really work for him tonight. And Ziyech, it just didn't really work. So maybe should have made the change earlier on to try and get those players involved. But yeah, it's tough. But look, we're in second gear. we're winning games, we're keeping clean sheets, we're unbeaten. So as much as we're disappointed with the performance and I wouldn't say the result, because I think it should be a bit more comfortable, but we're disappointed with the performance and how some of these players could have done a little bit more, but we're winning games. And if we're playing okay and winning games, then I'm not going to get too upset. But yeah, it does need to improve, because we've got Spurs and City. If we play like we did tonight, we're going to struggle.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you look at last season, our metrics in terms of chance creation, you can see definitely we created what the first most chances in the league, and our finishing numbers were 4. So you can, obviously that's why every single Chelsea fan wanted Lukaku, is purely for that kind of reason. But I think Mason Mount, it was purely for the fact that Zenit was sitting so deep today. It didn't allow any space, in between the lines a lot. Mason Mount did pick up a few times, but then you'd have 3 defenders, constantly on him, Manmark and Lukaku. So I think we don't need another creator. Mason Mount is an elite creator, in my opinion. I think Hakim Ziyech on his day is an elite creator.
Romelu Lukaku.
Anyways, we've got a fan here.
No, I know the badge, to be fair.
Really?
We've got some more happy fans.
I want a part of this.
Did you come to the game tonight? You're a Chelsea fan?
Yes.
Okay, he's got the scarf. We'll think of the Demba Bar reference. We'll think of the Demba Bar.
I am supporting from Besiktas.
Who do you think?
Nice.
Just quickly, we want you to enjoy your night, but who was the standout man for you today?
Yeah, Lukaku. Yeah.
The goal?
Lukaku is my favorite player. But I am from Turkey. I support Besiktas.
But with the Chelsea scarf.
because in here we are supporting Chelsea.
Oh, that's good.
But in Turkey we are supporting Besiktas. And tomorrow you will have a match with Borussia Dortmund.
That's true,
yeah. You are from Chelsea?
Yeah. We're both Chelsea fans.
Yeah.
On a Chelsea
Most probably
This is funny.
Batshuayi, to be fair, Batshuayi, we have loaned Batshuayi.
Yeah, Batshuayi.
Yeah,
Yes.
Batshuayi. There you go.
playing for Besiktas and he made 2 goals last week.
So we've got at least someone can have him, to be fair.
And tomorrow we are more goals for Batshuayi. Yeah.
No, I appreciate it, and obviously, Lukaku's made everyone very happy. So
Yeah.
Thank you for your time, man. Thank you for your time.
Besiktas means eagle, and eagle means. You understand that? The Besiktas is eagle.
This guy must be off his head.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers, man.
Thank you very much. Enjoy
Cheers.
Yeah, so
Jonathan, he must be off his head.
international. Batshuayi is going to hear a lot of this season.
Batshuayi fans.
Already got a chance. Yeah,
Boys. Aaron, you know what? We'll let you guys go. I know it's getting quite late for you guys, so go out there, go home, go safely, and we'll continue on.
We're just going to say a couple of things. I just want to say on the defence. I mean, look, I thought the defence was brilliant today. I thought Christensen.
See you from Besiktas.
I thought Christensen was really, really good today. I thought Rudi was really good, and Azpi and I think that says something about the game, that I'm thinking of our defenders as one of our best players. Obviously, Lukaku got the goal. He's going to get the limelight, but every time there was a chance for Zenit to get an attack, we sniffed it out. Other than that chance, obviously, Zuba had. So yeah, whilst we had control, whilst we were not particularly up to scratch, we got the 3 points, and it was a great night. When Lukaku scored, when Rudiger did that crazy run, it's something that only Champions League nights give you. So yeah, I'm happy. We've got the 3 points, like I said, to start the group off, and it'll be interesting to see what we do against Spurs on Sunday. But yeah, Taron, last thoughts, and then obviously we'll let them go.
Yeah, I thought I'm really happy with the control in the game today. We missed that Aston Villa. The midfield was superb. The defence, Rudiger, Christensen especially, I thought Christensen looked absolutely superb. So Azpi up to scratch again. But yeah, the final third play for me was a clicking in the first half. I thought the link-up plays well. Now I mentioned it before kick-off that we need to get them link-ups correct in the final third. But yeah, in the second half, I feel like Tuchel got into them. When Lukaku receives the ball, you get around him. There's not a lot of space in that box against a really strong, Russian kind of style defence. So you pick up the ball and you have early shots, and yeah, fair enough, we got the goal. But look forward to Spurs on Sunday. No serious injuries in this game. More minutes in the belt with Chilwell and a few other players. Apart from that, great experience again. Great game back in Stamford Bridge. Champions of Europe. Everything's good.
Brilliant, boys. Honestly, you guys did massively well. The footage that we got from you guys, some crazy fans as well. We had a good time.
Yeah, as I said, Champions League nights are different. There's a lot of happy fans, jolly fans, and when Chelsea win, you are going to get that up. It's different to Premier League games.
Some of them, not even Chelsea fans, Besiktas fans.
Yeah, we're in a quieter section, away to sort of other bits and pedestrians, so that we're not going to see loads of fans going past. But no, there were some happy ones. And as I said, everyone's happy. Big Rom scored. Feed the Rom, and he will score. And that's what's happened tonight. So 100%. He'll get the headlines, but 3 points. We move on to Sunday against Spurs, and Tuchel, I'm sure, will use tonight as a lesson to say, let's not underestimate teams. We have to respect everyone. We have to play at our best, and that's what I've taken from the game. So yeah, thanks again.
Yes,
we love being a part of this experience, and obviously broadcasting this to everyone. And yeah, obviously keep tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We just got a Zenit fan we spoke to subscribing, so we're worldwide. The other side of the coin. Okay.
Brilliant.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks very much for having us, and we'll speak to you soon.
No problems. Boys, have a good night.
Brilliant,
stay
man.
safe. Take care. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Let's get back. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Nearly 100 of you guys are live. Smash the like button first of all. Get those likes up to 100. Honestly, it helps out the channel a lot. And subscribe as well. Make sure you subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed that. That was quite incredible to see all these fans and Besiktas fans just absolutely gone bonkers. Ishan, let's get back into this review. Let's now really look into some of the player analysis. Start from the back. Mendy, once again, didn't really have to do much, but whenever he was sort of called upon, the shots were straight at him. There was that one chance in the second half where he got that injury on his chest. That was close, but I thought very decent game, nothing to worry about. I mean, Kepa played us with that tweet. He absolutely played us.
He did.
And the back three, Azpilicueta, Christensen, and Rudiger, very strong. Rudiger so strong. Azpi, very, very good as well. I think defensively there was just a couple of misses here and there. Christensen, I thought, was a flawless game again. And then when Thiago Silva came on, Christensen moved on to the right side. I mean, what do you think about the keeper and the back three?
Yeah, man, I'm really proud of the guys. I mean, especially Mendy, the way he got the blow, and he just stood up, collected himself, and then just kept on going. So it was brilliant. We've got a really world-class keeper, and this guy can take us into different levels. I'm telling you. But yes, I was very tense at that moment when he was hit a little bit. Not just that, but also it was a really close chance for Zenit. I almost thought that was a goal. It was so close to be an equalizer, but thankfully, it went out and we were still in the game. So yeah, I mean, Mendy, just like you said, not much saves, not much effective saves, but I think so. It was quite comfortable for Mendy. But yes, his presence itself really boosts up the confidence of the defenders as well. But you just cannot talk less about Rudiger. He is the man. He's world class. Definitely has to be one of the best defenders in world football at this point of time. So yeah, he did what he did. He does the best, and it were multiple occasions. First half, second half, there were multiple times. He was the man. He saved a lot of just denied many chances from Zenit, and that run as well. Who can forget that run? A legendary run, almost a goal. Almost, I'm telling you, the goal of the season. If that went in, definitely the goal of the season. Just like Zuma's run back then. A goal
that was
there.
Such a brilliant run from Rudiger, man.
Yeah,
the way he was cutting in. You thought, oh my God, he's going to put it away with his right foot. Oh man, that was good.
Also, Miz, mentality-wise, that was such an important run because, like I said, the man marking was so tight that when we had the ball in our corner, There were like we had three players around the ball to be passed, and they had 3 to 4 men around our men. So the man marking was so tight, and there was Rudiger on the other end of the corner waiting for the ball without being man marked. Luckily, he received the ball, and just because there were so many players of Zenit covering and man marking our players in our half, there was a lot of space to run to. But that space wouldn't have been exploited if Rudiger did not make that run. Luckily, Rudiger made that run, just exploited that space, and you just went through that whole gap and took a shot. That was important, just to give them a reality check that, listen, you cannot have those gaps. It is good to man mark, but just do not overdo that, because if they overdo that it would have been difficult for us, to be very honest. But that run from Rudiger just gave them a reality check, and that refrained them from putting an extra man on our half in terms of man marking. So the next time on, that just changed the complexion of the game. That just changed the tempo, and we were more comfortable with ball creations from our half. So it became relatively easier for us. So yeah, it was really, really important. Talking about Azpilicueta, I mean, yeah, we've spoken about him. Such an important guy, club captain, legend for the club, hands down. And even till now, the way he crosses the ball, it's really amazing. His decision making, I'm a big fan of his decision making up front. And
honestly,
also
Ishan,
defensively.
I've never seen Azpilicueta deliver anything less than 7. Always 7.5, 8 minimum.
100, man. His work rate is immense. He's such a good professional, and he just wants the win. He just wants there and to do the best for the team, and that's why he's the club captain. He's the club legend. He's won it all for us, and he's gonna win the next upcoming games and tournaments as well. He just not won the Club World Cup, maybe, which is also going to be held in December or maybe a January, which we definitely should win. So yeah, I mean, respect to Azpilicueta and Christensen also. He's like we said, he's not put a foot wrong, and he's been really immense for us. So kudos to Christensen as well. Also, Thiago Silva coming back from the bench. His presence elates the whole defense line, and we just look rigid, like even virtually. So Thiago Silva, again, a good game, and he will be used definitely. Regardless, people might say that it is his last season, so it might slow down a bit. Nah, definitely not. We're gonna use him, and we're gonna use him in big games as well.
100%. Looks like Romelu Lukaku has officially won the man of the match from Champions League, which, I mean, look, it is what it is. I personally feel there were other big contributions, but of course he gets us the big victory. Another goal from Romelu Lukaku, phenomenal performance. I mean, Ishan, we've talked about the back, we've touched on Kovacic, Jorginho, how impactful they've been. Let's really focus on the Mason Mount and Ziyech situation before we talk about some of the players that didn't play or get enough time. We'll talk a little bit about Havertz as well. I mean, I feel like, I know what Taron said, that Mason will create opportunities, which he does. I'm not going to lie, he does. I'm really disappointed from Ziyech. I mean, that's 2 games now back to back. And you know me, I like Ziyech so much. I just feel like he doesn't have the luxury to have 2 poor games back to back. He had a poor game against Villa. He needed to come out and have a strong game here against Zenit. And it was a game tailor-made for him, Ishan. I mean, team sitting back. We need a playmaker to open things up.
Yeah.
It was very disappointing from Ziyech. And once again, I don't know how he starts against Spurs. It's very difficult to back him to start against Spurs. What did you think about Ziyech's performance, man?
No, it was poor. It was poor. Let's not quote anything. Let's not sugarcoat. Let's not beat around the bush. It was not the best game for Hakim Ziyech. And when you come up and accept that, that means it's actually poor, because we know how much you love us, Ziyech especially. And that proves, there were people coming up in the watch along. It's so funny that some come up and say the biasness stuff and the agenda and all those stupid stuff. I don't understand these first timers coming up and just ruining and just adding up the toxicity to the whole live chat.
Agendas, and I don't do agendas. Exactly. I don't do bias. I see what it is and I talk about it. So
definitely, listen, this is the best example when the main man Miz says Ziyech did not do good and he's a question mark in the next game against Spurs. It's a proof that we talk reality here. It is what it is, and good performance will be appreciated, and bad performance will be questioned and will be figured out. So it is what it is. And then Ziyech today had a bad game. Let's not refrain from the fact that the first half our whole midfield was a little bit under pressure, like I said, because we were man marked so tough that there were so many interceptions, and for that kudos to Zenit's whole team. But then after those interceptions, the confidence level of our team and our midfielders went down. Now next what happens is that they didn't even need to do those interceptions. We were just giving away the balls. There were so many missed passes, there were so many misjudgments, and the positions were not wrong. Like we talked in the watch along itself, that the movement amongst the midfielders were not there. They were just sitting still in that in their respective positions and waiting for the ball to come. That's not how you're gonna win the midfield battle. You have to win constantly. You have to move constantly, watching for the ball. You will be having man marked. The way Zenit man marked today was absolutely amazing. But to just get away from that man mark, you have to move continuously, and we were not doing that, and that's why we were falling under the trap. That's what I was saying. So you had to get your wheels running, and in the second half we could clearly see that the midfielders were moving along. Mason Mount's movement became more better. Hakim Ziyech moved well a little bit, and then he got substituted. But then Kai Havertz came in, and his movement was better. You might not say that he had an impactful game, fine, but his movement was better. He just let the man marking off his tracks. So that was important as well. So like I said, it was a difficult game for our midfield, but we should not forget the fact that we should be very, very aware to not make those misplaced passes and just get dispossessed, time and time again due to no reasons. They did not. There were so many instances that they did not even make an effort, but still we got dispossessed out of nothing because of our misplaced passes. So in the next upcoming games against Spurs, maybe and Aston Villa, Man City, these guys are way too good to accept opportunities like that, and we would be punished if we lose too many balls in the midfield. And a midfield battle is very, very important to conquer us. So we cannot afford to lose a midfield battle due to these neglected passes. So we definitely should be working on this.
100%. Abhishek Bansal, we actually did talk about Zenit in the beginning of the stream. I mean, we're 52 minutes into the stream. We have talked about Zenit, how good they were, and we've respected them when they needed a lot more respect as opposed to how we thought about it. They were strong defensively, very good in counter-attack, very compact. Man marking was solid. And, there's a reason why they're in the top of the Russian Premier League. So kudos to them. Honestly, they've done absolutely well. Super chat here. Thank you so much, Varun, for the super chat. Everyone that super chats, honestly, thank you heaps for the support that you show for the channel. And literally, the money goes back to buying tickets for people like Taron and Johnathan to be able to go and give us that footage live, which is incredible, and be able to have fans interaction from the matches. So thank you so much, Varun. Thank you heaps for the super chat. As we're being pushed wide by Zenit, do you think Mount and Ziyech could have switched so they could have crossed with their preferred foot? Perhaps. I feel like, Varun, we didn't have too much sort of imagination. We know that they were going to sit back. We know that they were going to defend deep. But when we saw that, we needed to have a lot more imagination. And initially, Mount did start from the right and Ziyech on the left. And Ishan and I, we were both saying, what are they doing? But come to think of it, Varun, from your super chat, let me just bring it up. Again, you're right. Maybe they should have just stayed as right side and left side and then whipping the cross with their favorite foot. Maybe that would have been a little bit better. But hindsight is I suppose a great way of looking at things. And at the end of the day, it all matters in the game time. Ishan, we've talked about how amazing Lukaku has been. We've now talked about Ziyech. Mason Mount as well. We've talked in details. We've talked about the midfield. We've talked about, not too much to talk about Reece James and Alonso. I think they had a very decent game all up. I can't complain. Let's talk about the players that didn't play. A lot of people were asking for Timo Werner. I mean, I personally did not see a particular game for Timo. This one with the opposition sitting deep and being so compact, it's not Timo's game to create space in those situations. However, Ishan, when we did go 1-0 up and they were pushing for the equalizer, that is somewhere where I can see that when the game's opened up, that's when you can have Timo. I mean, are you a bit surprised that Timo didn't even get any minutes at all? I mean, are you thinking he's going to get some minutes against Spurs now?
Yeah, I think so. Spurs would be the game he'd be getting some minutes. Maybe he might just barge into the starting lineup. But yeah, this game, like you said, even I was thinking initially that, like you all did in the match preview, you guys put Timo Werner up, and I thought that is a possibility because Zenit, we were perceiving the fact that Zenit we might be very comfortable with Zenit, and Timo Werner might just be the guy who would be favorable for this game, not just for himself but also for Lukaku. The combination, we might have perceived that, but we were wrong. Ziyech and Mount started, but then I do agree the fact that after getting 1-0 up, maybe in the at least in the 80th minute, we should have seen the likes of Timo Werner just get the wheels running, and maybe when we were 1-0 up, there was a chance for Timo Werner just to go out there and just look for the spaces to run in, or maybe just create spaces for Lukaku as well. So yeah, that was a possibility, but then Thomas Tuchel does what is best for the team, and we know that. So like you said, we also should understand the fact that this wasn't the apt game for Timo Werner to feature in, because it was difficult to create spaces. Like we'd see, every time we'd attack, Zenit had five players at the defense, and whenever the ball just approaches the defense, there were 6-7 players on the the defense line in front of the keeper. So it wasn't difficult, and I don't think so it would have made much difference if Werner came in. But yes, after the 1-0, we could have. Since we didn't, now there is a chance for Werner to actually feature against Spurs, and that might actually work. So I believe in, but I'm not tensed. I'm not worried by any means. Werner will definitely get his chance, and also in the games that he should be starting, he'll be getting his chance regardless. So we've seen in the last game as well, he got some games in the dying minutes. So yeah, he'll be getting his game time. I'm not worried for Werner, but also maybe we saw Loftus-Cheek coming up, so that was kind of a good sign for him as well, because we just can't keep this guy in the bench. Just let the wheels start running.
It was good to see some minutes. Yeah, it was good to see him come on and get a bit of run.
Actually, maybe he's had very good training sessions and he needed some game time, just some minutes under his belt. Maybe he'll start at the Carabao Cup game as well. So yeah, there are numerous possibilities. But yes, talking about Werner, I'm not worried at all. He'll get his game time as the game comes.
Let's talk a little bit about Havertz before we go into Callum Hudson-Odoi's situation. I mean, Kai Havertz comes off the bench. I mean, I don't think he had a good game against Villa. I thought he looked a bit tired because obviously he played for Germany. He was a bit sick as well in the international break. Didn't have the greatest game against Villa. Comes off the bench. I thought he would have that impact and really provide that support for Lukaku. But once again, I don't think he had that enough impact off the bench. I think it's been a very difficult game for a lot of our forwards. Yeah. And it makes me appreciate Lukaku so much more, honestly, Ishan, that he's been able to bang in those goals. But we do need these players to really kick into gear quick, because we can't just expect Lukaku to bang in goals every game. I mean, he's scored 4 goals now in 3 matches, I believe, or 4 matches. The one against Liverpool that he didn't score, where Havertz scored. But Ishan, I'm not worried, but I do want to see that consistency. I don't like seeing players having 2 bad games in a row. And I'm not having a go at Havertz, but coming off the bench, I do want to see you provide an impact. And I feel like I didn't get that impact.
Yeah, 100%. But like I said, maybe there was an indication for Thomas Tuchel, and then there was, clear message that you just need to keep moving in the midfield. Do not stay you put in a single position. You'll get man marked easily, and then there was no chance. So yeah, what I could see in Havertz was just the movement, the slight movement, the deceiving movements. But like you said, there wasn't enough impact. But I believe that, yeah, I 100% agree on the fact that just what you said, it was a difficult game for maybe all of the players, attacking players. It was really really difficult. Like you said, we just cannot surrender and rely on Lukaku each and every game. It gets difficult because this is not the first game that it will be difficult for us to score. There are going to be many games for us which will be difficult to score, difficult for chance creation. Listen, getting us playing well and getting a 0-0 won't hurt much. If playing bad and sneaking in with a 1-1 or a 1-0 would
100%.
hurt. So for us, today was a day where we could not create much chances, and it's like we cannot complain much, but the thing is, there are areas that we need to improve. Games like these, you need to have your passing at the highest level. You cannot have any sense of complacency there in terms of your passing, and your midfield needs to be very very strong, very very active there. The thing that we saw in the watch along itself, when we said right there that if the passing is not right, you're not going to crack these sort of games. Your passing has to be at the top level. You cannot give chances to these teams, especially it's already so difficult to score, and if you're not passing well, then you're just cutting all the chances creation as well. So what's the point, right? So you need to have your passing abilities to the top level. Today was not. So we're not the team who do that. Basically, we're very very good with our passing as well. In the previous games we might have seen, we're very very good with our passing. But yeah, in the upcoming games, I think so we'll improve definitely. That's not something which I should be worrying upon. But yes, there were some demerits that we really need to work upon. And yes, we cannot rely on Lukaku as well. We need to be really really clinical in our midfield with our passing, especially in the first half. You could see we should be very very clinical. That would allow many chances creation, and that would allow Lukaku to come in the game more and do something out of nothing very easily.
100%. I just want to quickly go through some of these scores before we talk about a couple of more things before we sort of wrap things up. Barcelona got absolutely punished by Bayern Munich 3-0. Dinamo Kiev and Benfica had a draw. Man United losing to Young Boys. Big result for Young Boys there. Villarreal Atalanta playing out a 2-2 draw. So that particular group is looking very tasty all of a sudden. Sevilla and Salzburg. Salzburg had 3 penalties that was given to them, and they only scored 1 goal, and they also were a man up because Sevilla had a red card. So crazy game of 1-1. Lille and Wolfsburg played out a 0-0 draw as well. Juventus 3-0. We obviously won 1-0. And this is what Group H looks like. The table is Juventus obviously winning up front after the first game because of the goal difference, but crucial victory. I'm pretty certain Juventus will not have an easy game against Zenit. Mark my words. I don't think it's going to be easy at all.
100%.
Ishan, I want to talk to you about a few players that didn't play, and one of the notable ones, once again, Callum Hudson-Odoi. Plays a match against Aston Villa. Not the greatest. I'm starting to think Rhys James is a far better right wing back for our team. There's no doubt about that. Callum is he hasn't grasped that position. And I think more I think about it, he's better off as a left winger, as a left inside forward. I was more thinking at least he's getting some minutes in the right wing back, but I think it's detrimental for him. He doesn't feature once more, 5 substitution. I mean, you don't necessarily have to make every substitution. And the game kind of didn't warrant 5 substitution as well. It was very close.
Yeah.
But Callum, once again, no game time. I can't see how he's going to play against Spurs.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably going to play in the Carabao Cup, but is that good enough for this particular player? The Carabao Cup matches, some FA Cup early rounds, some odd games here and there in the Premier. I mean, what is the future for this particular player?
I don't know. I'm not sure, Miz, and that's the harsh part, because if we start talking about Callum and giving him chances, people will come on and talk about Pulisic and giving him chances.
Yeah.
When we see Pulisic come up and take chances, people will come up and talk about Timo Werner getting the chances. When Timo Werner plays, there will be people coming up and talking about Ziyech getting his chances.
Yeah.
It's endless. It's an endless process, and it's helpless until and unless we part ways. But is this the part of the plan? Absolutely not. So what the best can be done is just trust what Thomas Tuchel does, and he'll do what is best for the team. But yes, as far as personal development is considered, yes, it's a concern for Hudson-Odoi. But it's not just that. We have to see long term as well. If Tom Hudson-Odoi decides to stay at Chelsea, well and good for him. Challenges position, well and good for him. But is he going to be happy with being for years now, maybe 2-3 years down the line, he has to play this rotational role? Nobody knows. And this has to be with the other attackers as well. Maybe Pulisic, Werner, these guys are not getting the game time. Maybe a Ziyech in coming days. These guys might not get the game time that they might deserve. Maybe they might get in the other teams. So if they are fine being the rotational player in this team, in this tough playing 11 team, maybe then you have an impact, and maybe in one odd games you might come and feature in the playing 11 and have your impact. But as a long term, it's difficult, and it's difficult for the manager as well. You cannot blame anybody because we've got so many options. You cannot have the likes of Mason Mount on the bench. He's so important for us. We know that.
Yeah.
And once, like, we talk about Hudson-Odoi, the same when we play Hudson-Odoi, the same people will come up and say Mason Mount. Why is he benched? Why he can't play? I mean, come on, there are just option of 11 players to play in a squad, and what are you gonna do? There has to be some kind of strategy, but there has to be a sacrifice, like we said. There are so many options for us. Somebody has to get the axe, and at this point of time, the one who's performing well at his peak and is best for the team chemistry wise and just gelling up wise, maybe Mason Mount and Havertz looks like the long-term plan. But yeah, I really understand your point that players development point of view, Callum Hudson-Odoi needs to have a plan, or else like even Matisse says in his shows that the way Foden is developing, the way Mason Greenwood is developing, Hudson-Odoi needs to be at that level, and he is not. So that's a concern.
100%, massive concern, because literally all the other youngsters are now just going straight past him, and you're not going to grow without any game time. But look, let's focus back on this particular match. Great 3 points, clean sheet against Ishan. Just to remember, we are racking up the clean sheet. I saw in the Chelsea admin saying 10 clean sheets in our last 14 Champions League game, which is incredible. But also clean sheets in the Premier League as well, which is sensational. Our defense is rock solid. Mendy is an amazing goalkeeper. It's just, I think Thomas Tuchel has done really well in this particular game. I can't really blame him. He waited the right opportunity. He was patient, Ishan. He showed once again maturity of a very top class manager. Let's talk a little bit about Thomas Tuchel, Ishan, before we wrap things up, guys. Nearly 90 of you guys. Let's get to 90 likes straight away. We're literally about 25 likes away from 90 likes. Let's get to 90 likes if we can. Let's try and achieve those 25 likes. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe as well. Please subscribe. Let's get to 8,000 subscribers quickly. And check out the socials for my panelists in the description right now. Ishan, I feel like Thomas Tuchel, I mean, we've praised him so much, but not only he's a top manager, but he's such a matured manager, Ishan. Like, he stayed patient in that game, that trust in the game plan. Trust in the game plan, and it will happen. And eventually enough, it did. I mean, you saw all those crazy comments in the watch-along. Oh, Lukaku's not good enough. What has Lukaku done in this game? Da-di-da-di-da. But the game plan was use Lukaku as a reference, play in and around him. Obviously, that cross came in, which is a surprise package as well. And it's another one of Lukaku's quality to win headers. He's a tall player, and he can definitely win headers. I mean, Ishan, I feel like it was a very good game from Thomas Tuchel, measured with the substitutions, stayed patient, game plan very good against the quality opposition. What do you think about his game?
Yeah, 100%, man. It's not it wasn't an easy game for a manager as well. These are the games where it just got up unpredictably. You could not imagine that Zenit would play this way. Their low blocks, keeping five rigid defenders, and when we attacked, they'd had another extra two defenders on the defensive line, and when they would attack, they would just with those fast-paced counter transition, we would be under vulnerability of getting conceding a goal. So it was difficult game, even for Thomas Tuchel. But yes, I could understand the fact that even Thomas Tuchel in his post-match conference said that it was a difficult first half. They did not give us much space. So kudos to Zenit. They played good. When the opposition really makes it difficult for you, you need to give flowers to your opposition, because even I wasn't expecting Zenit to play that good defensively, and they did. It was really difficult for us, and like I said, initially, yes, we made mistakes, accepted. We made many passing mistakes, silly passing mistakes, and time mistakes. But initially, they man-marked us so well, and the interception was so on point that it forced us to panic with our passing in our midfield, that we made so many flunks in the passing and so many failed passing. So yeah, you need to give flowers to Zenit as well. It wasn't an easy game, and especially we're at our home, and just imagine how they would play in their home back in Russia. So it would be really interesting how the things transpire there back in the reverse fixture. But as far as this game is concerned, it was difficult. Yes, we saw Thomas Tuchel really getting agitated in the first half, because the passing was not going on. If the passing does not flow well, the attack does not happen. And if the attack does not happen, you don't score. So in the second half, we started, doing things more in a well-mannered way, and we started to create those passes, which was fine. But yes, all in all, it was a difficult game, and if we are winning things, I think so it's a positive thing. These are the kind of games where it does not feel like we would win. Even I said that multiple times and watch along that, it is a difficult game to score. It's a difficult game to win. Out of nowhere, it is difficult. And it's not that we playing bad. Sometimes we need to give props to our opposition as well, because they've managed to resist any sort of scorings from our side. So it's whenever we don't score, it's not that we are maybe playing bad. Maybe they're way too good. And that's why they forced us to make mistakes. So it was one of those games. And second half, I think so, we were happy with the way our midfielders played, a little bit more stable, better movement. So yeah, that maybe might have stable Thomas Tuchel a little bit more. But yes, the Lukaku's goal, and then post game after we got the goal, it was more settled down. And I hope we work on our mistakes, the passing mistakes that we made, and the upcoming games. I hope we do not repeat that, and we be more fluidic in our midfield.
100% right, man. Look, ladies and gentlemen, honestly, that brings us till the end of this review. Big night in the Champions League. Good 3 points. Very strong opposition in terms of their structure and their discipline. I did not expect that from Zenit, but kudos to us. I just want to quickly read out something. Our XG was 0.82 and Zenit's XG was 1.10. And we won 1-0. That's the Romelu Lukaku factor. Our XG was less than 1, and we ended up scoring 1. This is what I mean, ladies and gentlemen. This season, this is going to be huge. If you remember last season, our XG was off the roof, and we didn't even score enough goals. And this season, it's the other way around. XG is low, but we are scoring goals when we probably shouldn't be. I mean, Zenit, 1.1 XG. So they really had one clear-cut opportunity they really should have scored, and they didn't. That's because our defense is so strong.
Yeah.
I mean, incredible effort.
There was one opportunity miss where we just missed on, I mean, it was so close for Zenit to score with Mendy getting hurt in the groin. We thought that it was all done and dusted, but sometimes when luck favors that way, it sparks a little bit of confidence in our defense line as well. So yeah, kudos to the whole defense line and Mendy as well. But yeah, the next games would be crucial as well. Let's not forget we've got Juventus the next game. Maybe it's an away game.
No, 100%. I mean, we'll look into the fixtures when we do the next sort of live streams. Kudos to Thomas Tuchel, kudos to Chelsea, kudos to all the players. Very, very hard-fought victory. Love it. Champions League journey has begun and it's off to a good start. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys have enjoyed this. I won't have any streams tomorrow. I want to take a bit of rest. Obviously, we've worked really hard with Ishan. Do want to honestly, sincerely ask you guys to smash the like button. Ishan and I have put on
smash
another
it, guys.
shift.
Come on. It's been a long day. Today is definitely gonna be a sin if you don't smash
And
the
also
like
the
button.
boys, Johnathan and Taron, providing such great, footage from Stamford Bridge. So smash the like button.
Good job,
Let's get to
those
at least
guys.
90 likes if we can. Tomorrow, I do want to take a bit of rest, but do look out for the vlog that's going to come out from Taron and Johnathan.
Yeah.
And then I've got a whole heap of Spurs content lined up. I'm going to speak to a Spurs fan to get Spurs perspective on that game that's coming up for us in the Premier League. Ishan will be back. Daniel will be back. I'll be back for the Spurs preview, which will be straight after the press conference, possibly on Friday. And then we do this all over again. So do look out for all of that. Thursday, most likely we're going to have a stream. We'll see what we're going to talk about. I believe all you can eat Chelsea is on Wednesday. So it's today. I'm on Wednesday. So tomorrow for you guys. So it's changed from Thursday to Wednesday. Matisse has got a clash in a couple of his shows. So do look out for that. So yeah, until next time, everyone, take care and enjoy the rest of your day. See ya.